Alright, so, level 1. We're going to start with this player, but I know they landed on a stone. I'm going to go ahead and pretend they didn't, though, just so this is easier to explain at first. We're going to switch over to the green six-sided die, and players are going to take turns rolling the die and moving around the board to try and flip over stones. The first player rolled a 4, so they can move anywhere 4 spaces horizontally or vertically. I'm going to have this player move 1, 2, 3 spaces right over here. They're going to flip that, and they reveal the scroll. So they get to draw a scroll card. And then he has 1 move remaining, so he can go ahead and move. He's going to move there. And then we're going to move on to the second player. Second player rolled a 3, so they can move 3 spaces in any direction. He's going to move here to the corner and flip this over, and he revealed a trap. So he's going to draw a trap card. And he revealed a spider web. Now, what the spider web does is it lowers your movements by 1. So if, for the rest of the level, if Gavor rolls a 5, he can only move 4 spaces. If he rolls a 6, he can only move 5 spaces. If he rolls a 1, he can't move any spaces at all. So that's how that works, and that gets placed on top of his player card until the end of the level. So his turn's over. Now we're going to move on to the third player. Third player rolled a 5, so they can move 5 spaces, and he's going to move over here first, flip this over, and he revealed a treasure chest, so he's going to draw a treasure card. It's a bugle for 2 treasure points. You set that right there, and then he only moved, oh gosh, I can't remember. I think he only moved 2 spaces, so 3, 4, 5. Now he's going to flip this over, and wow, lucky, he found another treasure, and he got a vase for 1 treasure point. So in one turn, this player here has gotten 3 treasure points. So his turn's over. Now it's going to go to the fourth player. She rolled a 1. So she's going to go over there and turn that over. And she got the last treasure. Holy moly. Alright, so she got a sword for 3 treasure points. And her turn's over. So now we're going to move the round indicator to round 2. And we're going to start over with the first player. He rolled a 1. He's just going to move over here to the corner. Go to the second player. Rolled a 1 also. Move over here. Third player rolled a 3, but because of the spider web, they can only move 2 spaces. And then the fourth player can move 4. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. And she also revealed a trap. Turn the trap over, and it is a spring trap. When someone triggers a spring trap, what they have to do is roll the d8s again, and they're going to land somewhere else on the board. So she rolls a 4 and an 8, so she's going to get moved to the square marked 48. So she's right there now. So now we go down to round 3. It's the first player's turn again. He rolls a 3. He's going to move up here to the corner. Flip this over. He reveals a monster. Now, monster is going to take a little bit of explanation. He revealed a bat. So let's see how combat works. Okay, so let's take a look at this setup here. This is the player card. This is the HP card. This is a little red token that indicates how many hit points the player has. And then over here, this is a monster card and a generic monster HP card. All monsters only have between 1 and 3 hit points, so this card is used for all of them. This card indicates that the bat only has 1 hit point, so the red token starts here at 1. Now, combat takes place in the form of bouts, and a bout consists of 2 d8 rolls. On the card here, it says that the monster will attack on a roll of 7 or higher. So we roll the first d8, and it is a 4. That's too low, so the monster doesn't attack. And now the second number over here says that the player will attack on a roll of 4 or higher. So the player rolls the d8, he rolls a 6. That was high enough, so he hits the monster loses his hit point, and he dies. So that was easy. It was just a bat, no big deal. So now that that's over, we see down here at the bottom of the card, it says that the player can collect spoils. They'll collect 1 treasure point on a roll of 5 or higher. That's pretty high, but we'll see what happens. So, the player takes the green d6 and rolls it. He only rolled a 1. Unfortunately, he didn't get any spoils. But just for the sake of the example, let's pretend he actually did roll a 5 or a 6. Then he would get 1 treasure point. And that's the end of the battle. Okay, now that the fight's over, we can see that player 1 still has 2 moves remaining from his die roll. However, he can't use them. Let me explain. Whenever a character reveals either a scroll or a treasure, they can pick them up and continue using the rest of their moves. However, whenever a player reveals a trap or a monster, they lose the rest of their moves. The idea is that they have to stop and fight the monster, or they have to stop and deal with whatever trap they triggered. So, again, whenever a player reveals either a trap or a monster, whatever moves they have left are thrown away and their turn ends immediately after they deal with the card. Okay, so moving on to player number 2. He rolls a 3, so he only gets 2 moves because of his trap, so he's going to move 2 spaces up, turn this over, he reveals a scroll. So he gets another scroll card. This is a Scroll of Immense Brawn. Okay, and then player 3 rolls a 3, so he's going to move 2 spaces over and 1 space up and reveal another monster. So he revealed a warlock. Let's again cut away and let's see how to fight another monster. So, kind of a funny situation here is that Leofric is a much weaker character than Clifton, and the Warlock is a much stronger monster than the Bat. So, let's see what happens. The Warlock has 3 hit points, so his HP is going to start up here at 3, and he will attack. I'm just going to call him Leo from now on. He'll attack Leo on a roll of 5 or higher, and Leo will attack the monster on a roll of 5 or higher. So let's go ahead and start rolling. So the Warlock rolls a 1 to begin with. He does not attack Leo. Leo rolls a 3. He doesn't attack either, so it's a stalemate. Then the Warlock rolls a 7, so he does attack Leo. Leo rolls a 4. He doesn't attack. So then Warlock rolls a 7 again, attacks Leo. Leo rolls a 7. He attacks the Warlock. Warlock rolls a 1, does not attack Leo. Leo rolls a 1 as well, so stalemate, nothing happens. Warlock rolls a 1. Leo rolls an 8, so he does attack, and okay, kind of game point here. Warlock rolls an 8, does attack Leo. Leo rolls an 8, also attacks the Warlock, so the Warlock is now dead. Leo made it, but only just. So now that that's over, it says that Leo can collect 2 treasure points on a roll of 4 or higher. So it's a little easier to grab. Let's see what happens. Fortunately, he only rolled a 3. So he didn't get any spoils. Oh well, let's get back to the game. Wait a minute, I actually forgot to mention something really important. Leo just finished this battle and he was all the way down to 2 hit points. But at the end of every successful battle, all hit points on all characters is automatically replenished. So every time you start a fight, you're going to start the fight with full HP. Just want to throw that out there. I figure, you know what, that's kind of some important information. Okay, so now that that's over, we're going to go back to player 4. She's going to roll the die. She rolled a 1, but that's enough for her to get over to this stone. She's going to flip it, and she revealed the exit. Now, whenever a player reveals an exit, they immediately are awarded 1 treasure point. In addition, the first player to leave the level via the exit is going to get 1 treasure point. This doesn't have to be the same player, but it can be. In this case, you can look at the level, and I'll let you know right now that there's only 3 treasures on each level, 2 traps on each level, 2 scrolls on each level, and 3 monsters on each level. So Eilith can know that under that stone it has to be a monster. That's the only thing it can be. She doesn't really want to deal with that, so she says, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and leave right now. So she leaves through the exit, and she gets another treasure point. And then, now we're down to round 4, starting with player 1 again. So he's going to roll. He rolled a 5. He also doesn't want to deal with that monster, so he's just going to leave. He leaves. Player 3 rolls. He rolled a 1. He doesn't get to go anywhere because of his trap. And then player 4 goes. He rolls 1. So then we get down here to round 5. Now player 2 rolled a 4. He gets to move 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. He leaves the level. And now it's player 3's turn. He rolls 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now it's round 6. Now here's the thing. This player's got to get off this level in this 1 turn or they're going to die. So he has to roll at least 3. If he doesn't, then he's not going to be able to get off the round by round 6, and he's going to lose half of his treasure points. We'll see what happens. Well, okay, it's kind of it's kind of anticlimactic. He rolls a 3 and he leaves the level. So now this level's over. So the stones are going to get taken off, and the level indicator is going to move down to level 2, and the first to land token is going to be going to be passed to the left to player number 2, and then player 2 is going to go ahead and set up the level, and they're going to go first, and the whole thing's going to repeat. But before I do this, let's pretend. I'm going to put this back over here. I'm going to keep him
Let's pretend
that player 3 actually only rolled a 2 on their last turn. He would have moved over here, and unfortunately he would not have had enough moves to make it out of the level by the end of the 6th round. If any players remain on the board at the end of the 6th round, they're going to die. When death occurs, a player is going to lose half of his acquired treasure points. In this case, we've only played one level, so player 3 he's only got 3 treasure points, and he's only gonna lose 2 of them. And the reason why is because you round down to the lowest whole number, and that's what the player's left with. In the case of 3, what's left over is 1. So, in short, player 3 lost 2 treasure points because he died. So, of course, that didn't happen. Player 3 rolled 3. He went over here, he made it out of the level. So everyone's alive. So now we're going to begin level 2. We move the level indicator down. I'm going to pass this over to player 2, and player 2 is going to remove all the stones from the board and randomly scatter them again to start the next level. And that's how you play Baldrich's Tomb. Now, this is going to be the same setup for level 3, and then finally, when players get to level 4, you're finally going to take Baldrich's Talisman, and you're going to flip that over, and that's just another stone. So the 4th level is actually going to have 12 stones. So let's mix that up a little bit. I don't know how good that is. And then scatter those around. Gets kind of crowded with 12 stones on there. Okay, so then players would go ahead and they would roll the d8s to land just like normal. I'm just going to go ahead and randomly place them somewhere on the board, okay? And they would continue this level just like normal. Here's one difference, though. Baldrich's Talisman has to be found before anyone leaves this level. If anyone remains on the board at the end of the 6th round and the Talisman hasn't been found, then everybody's going to die and start the level over again. However, from seeing level 1 played out, you see it should be relatively easy to get all the stones flipped over before the end of the 4th level. So let's just find out where it is. I should have probably set this up. Okay, it's right here. So let's say that player 2 rolled and he moved over here and he flipped this. So he found Baldrich's Talisman. So what happens immediately is it's treated like a treasure so he can continue to do the rest of the moves. The talisman is removed and added to their stash. Now, at the end of the game, if player 2 gets out of the tomb and he still holds on to the talisman, it's worth 5 points. However, if he dies, then he loses half his treasure points like normal, and he loses the talisman. And the talisman is given to whichever other player currently has the lowest amount of treasure points. And that's how that's passed around. So, when you get to the 4th, you go up, you're going to travel back up to the 3rd level, the 2nd level, the 1st level, and when you're done with the 1st level again, you're out, and at that point, everyone tallies up all the treasure points that they have, and whoever has the most treasure points is the winner.
And that's it. That's how you play Baldrich's Tomb. If it looks interesting to you, then I encourage you to head over to thegamecrafter.com and check it out. Thanks for watching.